work by Bainbridge. Laidlaw, Campbell, Irwin, Kiernan. Well, no ball. Mexted. New Zealand 22, midfield. And Loveridge is offside this time. Campbell to take the kick though. And is successful too. Loveridge again possession for New Zealand. To Carey, Bernie Fraser coming in from the left. Hugh Wilson for the record try for New Zealand. Plaudits, congratulations all round for him in this 31st international since his first cap in 1977. The whole of Eden Park on its feet to salute Hugh Wilson. New Zealand drive in and set it up once more from Hewson, the full-back that time, and it's Carey with the chip through for Hugh Wilson. Wilson in hand, Wilson the try. Hugh Wilson with his second try in the opening 2 minutes of this second half. Short of the line, 7-metre line. Mexted again. Loveridge, look at that angled ball. He misdone it, went straight to Taylor. Carey, Wilson to Hewson. Nice touch. Campbell in trouble, as you can see, and it just bounces into the arms of Alan Hewson, and that's try number 4 under the post. Inside the Lions 22. Mexted, Loveridge, done. Almost a bit too clever that time, but escaping almost. And still New Zealand turn, win possession. The pack set it up like clockwork. The Lions cannot hope to cope with this. Mexted, Ashworth in possession, being driven to the line. And still looking for possession again. They're just those few centimetres short. Hayden has scored. Andy Hayden, in what may be his last international, made sure he got up with that ball. Laidlaw still doing his best. Evans, Kiernan, tapped on by McNeil. Hugh Wilson, a hat-trick.
It was a record score against the Lions for any New Zealand team, but as subsequent seasons in the 80s proved, New Zealand were to become virtually unbeatable by any side. They were the nucleus of the team that went on to win the first Rugby World Cup. The tour results made sad reading for the 4 home unions. They too had the World Cup to prepare for. There was work to do.
And work they did. All 4 home countries went on to qualify for the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Scotland were beaten by New Zealand, Ireland were beaten by Australia, and then England beaten by Wales, who eventually went on to beat Australia for 3rd place.
The manager of that Welsh team was to hold a unique position in Lions history. Clive Rowlands is the only official to be elected manager of 2 Lions teams. The first time was in 1986, when at Cardiff Arms Park the Lions played a World 15 to celebrate the centenary of the International Rugby Board. But as manager of the 1989 Lions, he and his team were to turn the clock back 90 years. For the first time since 1899, the tour would be only to Australia. The captain would be the dynamic flank forward from Stuart's Melville, Finlay Calder, and there were to be 2 coaches, taking care of the forwards, England's Roger Utley, and keeping an overall eye on the team, Scotland's Ian McGeechan. The first test was played at the new Sydney Football Stadium, custom built for such an event, and as anticipated, it was filled to capacity by a crowd waiting to see how Nick Farr-Jones's Wallabies would take on Finlay Calder's Lions.
Farr-Jones, liner, little chip and chase, Robert Jones covering liners there, it's anyone's ball and the try is given. Lloyd Walker the scorer. There the Lions coaching duo of Ian McGeechan and Roger Utley. Front of the posts. Robert Jones waits. Chalmers, perhaps a drop goal on here. Goes for it. Clean through the middle. Australia increase their line-out length at the last moment as Campbell rolls it off. Farr Jones tries to find the back division, does so. Greg Martin in the line, and this is Gurley, goes for it and gets it. 2 good tries by Australia. Oh, it's a fine kick, but what else would you expect from Michael Lynagh? Over the top go the Lions. And again they turn tail and face Lynagh with a long ball, head onto the posts. Puts weight behind it. Yes, that's some kick. They come again through Campese. Lynagh himself beats one man, beats two. Maguire to the line. Try is given. Oh, what a kick. Really an immaculate performance. But here's a penalty to the Lions for pushing in the line out by Australia. Relatively easy miss early in this half. But that'll do well. So something to give them a bit of a lift as we come to the last 16 minutes, 24 points to 9. Back to Jones, Chalmers, dummy, it's in fact taken by Hastings on the switch. Norster pops it up well, Ackford now. Bit more ruggedness by the Lions, possession out on the narrow side, and again Gourlay is penalised, offside. That's good. Craig Chalmers runs back and the Lions claw back to within 12 points now. Referee just steadying the scrum, getting the right position, just a few metres out. Farr Jones poised, has a go himself, dummies to his half-back and straight through for the try is full-back Martin. Another player on his debut. 28 points to 12. And try number 4 is converted.
Australia hadn't won a test match against the Lions since the 6-5 victory at Sydney Cricket Ground in 1930. The Wallabies were understandably confident of taking the 3-match series. When the Lions arrived at Brisbane for the second test, they'd made 6 changes, some through injury, but for the Irish, the embarrassment of seeing a Lions side without an Irish player.
Farr Jones, Lynagh pumps one up. Ian Evans is back there, Gavin Hastings waits for it, it's bounced loose and the Wallabies are there in strength and numbers. Links out from Farr Jones to Lynagh. Greg Martin goes for a try and the corner claims it. Greg Martin, 2 tests, 2 tries. Lynagh then bidding to make it over 400 points in Test rugby. Oh, it's beautifully struck. That is perfection to notch up the 4th century of points in just 32 Test matches. Can he get this one? And he has. The Union Jacks of the supporters in the far stand and Torres is going aloft as first points in the match for the British Isles from the boot of Gavin Hastings. Australia for once looking shaky in defence. Robert Jones, Rob Andrew looks for 3 points off the drop goal. No problem. Played about 16 minutes of the second half. It's 9-6 to Australia, but it's a penalty to Australia now from the line-out. Now trying to re-establish a 6-point lead in the shadow of the main stand. Well, inch perfect again, and once more that momentary lapse of discipline gives Australia 3 3 points almost. Penalty to the British Isles. Rob Andrew. It's a good kick. It's 12-9. It's still in the melting pot. Through the pack. Rolling round again. It's Teague, one-handed, beautifully fed. Robert Jones cutting inside his Underwood. Good tackle by Gourlay, but Moore's there in support. They're 10 metres out. It's Finlay Calder shunting it out to Rob Andrew. There must be a man over here, surely. The pass is loose and bouncing, but Gavin Hastings picks up and hands off the man for the try. Gavin Hastings is through. 13-12 it stands to the British Isles, ahead for the first time. Campese under pressure. Ian Evans is in there. Lovely pop-up from Rob Andrew to Finlay Calder, the captain. Didn't see any immediate support and carries on himself within 5 metres. Possession's coming again. Brian Moore, Rob Andrew, Guscott, little chip and chase. It's beautifully placed. Guscott's there. Guscott, what a try. That must seal it. A brilliant moment of individual skill. And the young Bath lad is over the moon. Jeremy Guscott can't believe it. And the Lions surely now are home and dry because the conversion's in front of the post.
A spectacular finish for the Lions and the Test series levelled. The media-conscious Australians want their sport to be hard, uncompromising and entertaining, and they certainly got all of that in the first 2 tests. And so it was a guarantee that the third and deciding test at the Sydney Football Ground on the 15th of July would be a sellout.
Lawton with the throw. Campbell at the front, but it's down and gathered in by Sol. And there's a good phalanx of support again. Robert Jones has got in, is impeded as the players go over. The Lions have the penalty. Gavin Hastings. 2 penalties in this test. Can he give it a 6-point lead for the Lions again? Perfectly struck. Oh, that's a magnificent kick. It's the 22. Gourlay channels it in. Tyneman protects Far Jones. Liner. Double miss move in the centre, and Liner's half through and clear. Williams on the overlap, he's got the pace. Oh, it's a great try. The Lions have the scrummage ball. Robert Jones, drop goal attempt by Andrew. Just wide. And Campese off on his travels again, and in dire straits, it could be a score for Ian Evans. He's got it. One of those disastrous moments in Campese's rugby life. The game needed a bit of touch of his ingenuity, but what a disaster this was. Tried to find Martin, and Ian Evans, quickest off the blocks. Gavin Hastings, 4 penalty goals. What a bonus this 5th one would be if he gets it. Yet again, it's his day. Driving on towards the 22. The ball is there. It's offside. 3 penalty goals and a conversion. Just 1 miss. Can he kick Australia back to within a point? He has.
Jubilation for the Lions. The series won by 2 tests to 1. It was a rare and precious victory for the 4 home unions, in a country where there's a premium on physical hardness in sport. But perhaps more importantly, it was to underline to the sceptics that the Lions tour of Australia had been a worthwhile venture. And in the spirit of touring, the Australian Rugby Union arranged to say farewell to the Lions with a Barbarian-style celebration match. A combined Australian-New Zealand 15 would meet them for the final match of the tour at Ballymore. Lions versus the Anzac seemed like an entertaining prospect. But the match didn't quite live up to the aspirations of the organisers. But it did produce a few spectacular moments.
Deliberately just half strength on that one to allow the ball to go clear. And what a lovely dummy by Ian Williams racing home. Williams just fooling Gavin Hastings for the crucial moment. to run in the score that recaptures the lead for the Anzacs. Derek White holds it on the wheel. Chalmers, Mullin, the mismove to fullback Gavin Hastings. Brother Scott outside, nice show of the ball, trying to get the return pass to Gavin, and does. Dever in support, it's a great score. Robert Jones set to feed it out again. More the link. Gavin Hastings, the drop goal attempt, it looks good. And that's magnificent. They round off an historic day in victory. They round off a tour triumphant. 19 points to 15 here at Ballymore.
As I speak, we're at the beginning of the last decade of the 20th century, and rugby union football is played now in almost every country in the world. There are new laws, new experiences, new attitudes, and a new World Cup, which has changed the game forever, and for most of us, for the better. And you know, whatever happens as far as Lions tours are concerned, what it has done is this. It's brought together men from England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, brought them together to go on an adventure or an expedition overseas, where they've always produced spectacular rugby and created lasting friendships. That's not a bad contribution to the whole fabric of rugby in the world.